Welcome to the 42nd episode of ML Backstage. My name is Mars Luna.
And I'm Ethan.
And we're introducing this podcast straight from the 6th dimension. This is a music commentary podcast hosted by just Joshua Luna today. And he's going to talk about my latest double single, Beetlejuice, featuring my songs Free and Gypsy. Holokahiki Toves and Kainalu Kamai are unable to make it on this episode since Joshua decided to record this episode last minute. Say my name 3 times and I might just disappear. Earthlings, grab your popcorn and let's get started. Back to planet Earth we go!
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 42 of the ML Backstage podcast. My name is Joshua Luna. I'm here solo today. To be honest, this is an impromptu episode. I'm recording this really late in the month of September, so didn't really get a chance to, actually I did invite Holokahiki and Kainalu on, but just weren't available, you know what I'm saying? And it's been a busy month, so I did talk to Holo yesterday, since he posted his July Hawaii vlog where he got his tatau, sacred tatau, on his left leg. That was primarily the reason why he was there. He was around there at the same time as I was there when my grandpa passed, and it was a funny video. I can probably attach it right here, like a little snippet. Go check it out on his channel. He's almost at 300 subscribers, so go subscribe to him. And with Kainalu, his birthday was a couple days ago, and so happy birthday to the boy, you know what I'm saying? And last night he was at some kind of event at Dave and Buster's. It was like a K-pop / reggae event, and he was chewing throughout the night. Crazy work. But happy birthday, belated birthday to him. And one of these days when our schedules align, we'll get the boys back. But yeah, so to those who are new to the ML Backstage podcast, my name is Joshua Luna, and the ML Backstage podcast is a podcast where it's basically a time capsule, man, where I'm kind of going through all the projects and the singles and the albums regarding to my musical persona of the Cosmic Prince, space alien singer Mars Luna, straight from the 6th dimension. And you know what I'm saying? We are, kind of going through the behind the scenes, the the here's what's happening behind behind whatever single, whatever album we're doing, and it's just kind of like a good reminder of oh, this is what I was going through when this was released, or when this dropped, or you know what I'm saying, those kind of things. So it's a time capsule to look back on in the future, but it's also a good reminder to keep things in perspective as well. And just see man, this happened during this time. That's crazy. You feel me? So we are currently on episode 42, and as far as how things have been going with me, I feel like I've just been trying to keep the train on the track, man. You know what I'm saying? And and like 2 days ago, I was kind of just reorienting my my goals, and figuring out what the next 5-year plan looks like, and figuring out again what I want to do with my life for the next season of my life, because hard losses necessitate a hard reset, you know what I'm saying? And just been trying to figure all that out. And you know, it made me feel productive, you know what I'm saying? And it made me, because I've been trying to think about like I've been trying to think about, things that I can look forward to, because since I've came back to Vegas in August, there's been a lot of things that have kept me occupied, but there haven't been a lot of things for me to look forward to. So, just trying to find a spark, you know what I'm saying? And if you're watching on YouTube, you'll know that my hair is growing a little bit, you know what I'm saying? I got, the young palm tree tail, the little bunny tail, the young Bulbasaur tail, you know what I'm saying? Bulbasaur. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, today we are going to look at the latest Mars Luna double single, or the latest Yeet, or the latest monthly release from Mars Luna, called Beetlejuice. May or may not be directly tied to the movie, but you know what I'm saying? We are here. So Beetlejuice consists of two songs that were um, reprised from some of my earlier projects, from my Genesis and Prelude EPs. So the songs "Set Me Free," which is now called "Free," it was written back in 2013. To, "Free" is basically a song about um, you're trying to get out of a certain relationship, or a certain, you know what I mean, certain entanglement, but you can't seem to shake free from it. And it's like a realization that the relationship has gone sideways, and it's gone in a direction that's, not favorable or conducive for the two parties involved anymore. So it's time to split. You know what I mean? And that's kind of what Free was about. And it was originally called "Set Me Free," and "Set Me Free" was originally from the Genesis EP. So that's the first song off that double single. And Gypsy, which is originally called "Gypsy Girl," and Gypsy was actually inspired by a drawing that one of my friends from high school made, and I'll actually attach the picture like right here. And yeah, it was based off a little drawing. And once I saw like the caption of the drawing was called "Gypsy Girl," I asked the homie, shout out to Eric, um, if I could, write a song based off of the drawing, and he was cool with it, you know what I'm saying? And Gypsy is kind of about, you know, you know, two two people in a relationship are basically taking a break. You know what I'm saying? And I personally don't believe in the concept of taking a break in relationships, because, you got to communicate and you got to work things out. But, it's because taking a break to me is like just an excuse to um kind of just meander around and do whatever you want, and it gives you an excuse to kind of um not cheat, but but just it'll give you an excuse to just amicably split. And in Gypsy Girl, it talks about, like, say, because since the song was originally called Gypsy Girl, the guy is like, he understands that the girl is trying to figure her stuff out, and she's kind of wandering, and you know uh you know trying to find a home. But really, the guy saying, like, my home is really with you, and I'll wait for you till you return, you know what I mean? And he's holding a more optimistic point of view in regards to that. So Um, yeah, that's Gypsy. You can check out Free and Gypsy from the double single Beetlejuice on all streaming platforms. And you know what I'm saying? This is September's Yeet. And I released Beetlejuice in September because I knew the Beetlejuice sequel was coming out that month as well. And I originally, before I go into the movie recaps, because I watched the original last night, and um I watched the 2024 Beetlejuice release a couple weeks ago. Um, I originally came up with the concept of Beetlejuice because I wrote, you know, I because I wrote, I had the double singles, um, Rigel in tow, and I had the single Orion in tow already. So I kind of wanted to connect those Orion dots together, um, with you know what I'm saying, because Beetlejuice is a supergiant star in the constellation of Orion, and Rigel is also um, a blue supergiant star in Orion, and you know what I'm saying, and Beetlejuice, and Rigel are a part of the Orion constellation. So that's kind of what the original inspiration for these past couple singles, aside from Wolverine 2, came from. And you know what I'm saying? Yeah, like that's kind of where um the origin stories for the origin stories for the title Beetlejuice and Rigel came from. But I want to talk about the movie because the Beetlejuice series is bananas. And you know, instead of like really talking about the plot for the movies, because comprehension was not necessarily my strongest suit in school. Um, you know, the Beetlejuice series is basically like a dark fantasy comedy horror film. Like it's right up my alley. I love it. And it talked about it talked about the concept of death and the supernatural and the afterlife a lot. And um considering considering that uh my grandpa passed 3 months ago now, uh watching this movie, watching in particular the second movie, the sequel, it kind of helped me move forward from it in a really twisted and bizarre way. And it really helped me find a way to move forward from it. And um in particular with the Soul Train, and in the second movie, it really it really painted a really really bizarre view of the afterlife. And it was, oh, hold up. Oh no, never mind. It was really interesting to think about, like, even how Beetlejuice, shout out to Michael Keaton, and he was basically the same character uh, as he was in the very first film. He had no character arc, and he had no development, and he never evolved from the first one. And but you still see the same cast of characters where, Winona Ryder came back as Lydia, and and her daughter makes an appearance, Astrid. Shout out to Jenna Ortega. And Delia Dietz came back. Catherine O'Hara came back. And it was more I would say the second film was more bananas than the first one, but it was basically, from the first one, the Maitland family, you know, passed and became ghosts after their car drowned in the lake or wherever that body of water was in their neighborhood. And the Maitlands tried to scare the Dietzes away from moving into their house and all that kind of stuff. And it's and basically Beetlejuice kind of tried to marry Lydia at the end of the first movie, and Lydia is still uh has PTSD from Beetlejuice from the first one, um like 36 years later. And I would say the continuity between um Beetlejuice 1 to Beetlejuice 2 was really good. And I think having a majority of the same cast return helped with that. So um I might actually go watch Beetlejuice 2 tonight, if I finish editing this on time. So um yeah, I recommend it. It's very it was what I needed. It was what I needed to move forward. And shout out to the whole squad from the Beetlejuice series. And it kind of helped tie in indirectly to my Beetlejuice release pretty nicely. So you know in about a week, um this month marks 10 years since I've been here in Las Vegas. And I've seen a lot of moving parts and a lot of just evolving, you know what I mean, in this city. And while certain changes are a little annoying, it's everything is so fast paced out here that I don't even remember what Vegas was like in 2014 anymore. You know what I'm saying? And Vegas being in Vegas has taught me a lot, and I've grown a lot out here. And I felt like I feel like, 10 years in Vegas feels like an eternity. And my family came through and visited last month, and to kind of celebrate me being here for 10 years. And also to get, grandma out the house, and have her experience different places. And it was it's been a good ride. um it's still dry out here, but at the same time, you know, I can't be nothing but grateful for the time that I've been here, and for how many years I have left here. I'm just got to make the most of it. And I've seen Vegas grow immensely in such amount of time. In 2014, Vegas didn't have any sports teams. You know what I'm saying? And now we have a bunch of them. Like, we have the Golden Knights now, we have the Aces now, we have the Raiders now. We have, the Aviators, that played I sang the national anthem for them a couple months ago. And the A's are coming here in 2028. I don't know how I feel about that move, but that's neither here nor there. But you know, I've learned, like, through living here in Vegas, that you gotta adapt. You know what I'm saying? And God forbid you have any kind of hiatus, because this is a city that keeps on moving, and you'll get left behind if you take any kind of hiatus. So I feel like I'm kind of maximizing my time out here. You know what I mean? And it's however long I end up being here is to be determined. But shout out to Vegas. Um, 10 years in this city is it's basically a long time, an eternity in a place where everything is so transient. Uh, so shout out to Vegas. And see, speaking of being here in Vegas for 10 years and like seeing all kinds of changes happen, um, one of the passages of the Bible that has resonated with me over the past several months is I'm pretty sure people have uh I'm pretty sure even people who haven't read scripture know this. It's Ecclesiastes 3 verses 1 through 8. It's it says there's a time for everything and a season for every activity under the heavens, a time to be born and a time to die, a time to plant and a time to uproot, a time to kill and a time to heal, a time to tear down and a time to build, a time to weep and a time to laugh, a time to mourn and a time to dance, a time to scatter stones and a time to gather them, a time to embrace and a time to refrain from embracing, a time to search and a time to give up, a time to keep and a time to throw away, a time to tear and a time to mend, a time to be silent and a time to speak, a time to love and a time to hate, time for war and a time for peace. So basically everything happens in its season, and nothing lasts forever here. And just since everything does happen in its season, it's more important than ever to be present and to really see what's in front of you instead of looking too far ahead, or looking back to the past. And Vegas, kind of tying into this with Vegas, like Vegas is a city that always tries to move forward, and that's something that I appreciate actually about being here, because this is a city that's always adapted and it evolved, and I've seen that so much over the past 10 years. And I think about my own life and I think about like how everything happens in seasons, and it's just more important to maximize um, the seasons that I'm in now. And Ecclesiastes 3, Ecclesiastes 3, it's a time for everything. Um, so uh, so during this part of the podcast, I basically try to ask a question that fits the theme of the album, the single, whatever the release is. I try to ask a philosophical question, a fun question, a general question that pertains to um, the releases, the releases theme or the episode's theme. And since I've talked about transitions and I've talked about seasons, and I've talked to you know and Beetlejuice talks about death a lot, and he has a really fascinating perspective on death. Not so much about grief, but more so about death in general and the supernatural and the afterlife. My question that I want to ask you, the listener, is what lessons can you learn from death that can enhance our appreciation of life? And now that I'm kind of in a healthier space to answer this question, I'll probably say that the lessons from my grandpa's passing, that I've learned over the past couple months, is to, live life with no regrets. You know what I mean? And every day is every day that I get to be alive is a day to be thankful. I mean, sure, like sometimes like situations suck, but the fact that you're alive gives you an opportunity to make things better. than what they currently are. You know what I mean? And to just, go through life with no regrets, you know what I mean? And I remember, like, because my grandpa, he he's a survivor, you know what I mean? He went through a bunch of health related issues, and he overcame most of it up until the very end. And basically, the one thing, he lived a full life, and he lived a good life. Um but there was one of the reasons why, my uncle bought a plane ticket for my grandma to come here was because we never really had an opportunity to do a lot of fun stuff with grandpa, af- uh, especially after he got sick and he recovered and all that kind of stuff. And whatever goals you have, or whatever bucket list items that you have, or whatever things that you want to accomplish in this lifetime, you go ahead and do it, you know, and try your best to make those things happen for yourself, because you don't want to go into the afterlife. You don't want to go to heaven or pass away feeling like, man, I wish I could have done this, or dang, I wish I could have done that, or you know what I'm saying, just end up living a life of regret. That's not really a good place to be in. So I'll probably say that it made me appreciate the opportunities to take chances, the opportunities um to go after your hopes and your dreams and and all the things that you want to accomplish on earth. And not only that, but you also have the opportunity to make the world a better place, to make the world around you a better place, and make a difference in this world. And I guess this is just me trying to put things in perspective, or trying to make sense of things, because of course, selfishly, you want to be around your loved ones all the time, but life doesn't happen that way, and that's okay. You just got to make the most out of the situations that you have. And the fact that I get to wake up another day, the fact that I get to see another day, the fact that it's new mercies and new grace, you know what I'm saying? And shout out to God for, allowing me to live another day, to experience things that I normally, don't think about that much, and I'm not satisfied with my life yet, but I have God willing, a whole lot longer to live. And, and my grandpa's passing made me realize that there is a sense of urgency to, to go through and do all the things that I want to do. So, so, before I continue rambling on, I just want to give a shout out to the unofficial sponsor of the ML Backstage podcast and the Cosmic Prince Mars Luna, Celsius. So I haven't I haven't had I haven't shared the Celsius drink um of the month, because the last couple months, it's last couple months have been kind of all over the place. So I think um the last time I had a Celsius drink on the episode was when I had the Orion episode, was actually when I had Angelo on, and a couple months ago. And just to catch up, Celsius has provided different flavors for the last couple months that I've um last couple releases. So I'll say, uh So this is the Rigel flavor. The Rigel flavor of Celsius is the Blue Raz Lemonade. I don't know if you can see that. There you go. Fizz free Blue Raz Lemonade. Um, Wolverine 2 had the sparkling lemonade. Oh, there we go. Sparkling lemonade right there. But this month, I'm gonna. Oh no, hold on. Before I do that one, sorry. Um, Celsius also introduced a new orbit flavor too. It would have been cool if you had this a couple months ago, but here it is. Oh, the Astro Vibe. You know what I'm saying? This is a sparkling blue raz edition, kind of similar to. Hold on. Trying to get it in the frame here. There we go. Um, Very similar to the blue raz lemonade one. It would have been cool if Celsius y'all dropped this a couple months ago, but this is the unofficial new orbit flavor, the Astro Vibe. My favorite flavor is still the Cosmic Vibe, which is the Lost in Space one. I'm gonna need one. I'm gonna need a new dark matter flavor because Alani Nu has the Cosmic Stardust, and that was the unofficial dark matter flavor. But I don't drink Alani Nu. I don't drink Alani Nu anymore. But this month's Beetlejuice flavor is, since Beetlejuice is a red giant, red super giant in Orion, and green is a prominent color in the Beetlejuice lore. I have, oh my gosh, getting into frame here. There we go. Sparkling green apple cherry. You know what I'm saying? And shout out to Celsius for being the unofficial sponsor of the ML Backstage podcast and the unofficial energy drink for Mars Luna. And Mars Luna kind of lives off of these energy drinks. So cheers. So cheers to you. Shout out to Celsius. And hold up. Get into frame again. Boom. Cheers. Tastes like apple cider. And you know what I'm saying? Now we're going to go into the next segment, which is what is next? What's next for Mars Luna? What is the next release for Mars Luna? So, I have a very special announcement. So, Mars Luna announced this on his social media platforms, and I kind of shared it a little briefly too. But Mars Luna will be recording. He will be recording some songs on vinyl. This is kind of like a bucket list item. This is like a dream list item. Very, very excited. Um, these are one of a kind recordings with personalized notes attached to them. So straight from the Cosmic Prince himself, one of a kind. I reiterate, one of a kind vinyls. These are very special. You know what I'm saying? And it's powered through Least of All Sound Recordings in Brooklyn, New York. So shout out to them for allowing Mars Luna to do this. And we're gonna start recording in October. You know what I'm saying? And I'll attach the session link. It's called, yeah, so Mars Luna will be doing a session with them sometime in October. Record some songs from the New Orbit project as well as some unreleased songs that will be dropping and releasing next year. So so go cop yourself one. You know what I'm saying? I'll post the link in the story notes below. And also the next the next Mars Luna release is going to be a song called Halley's Comet. And Halley's Comet is, a comet that can be seen through the human eye. It passes around like every 70 through 80 years. And it's basically a summation of my love life, you know what I mean? And I feel like I've had a lot of missed opportunities when it comes to love, and I've kind of tailored that into, Halley's Comet that just passes through, you know what I'm saying, every once in a blue moon. And I'll also attach the pre-save link to Halley's Comet in the show notes below. I'll have two, musical updates this month because November is November is no yeet November. It is, it is a season of paramount importance in this country. It's election season, and I already can't wait for that season to be over. You know what I'm saying? And that's about as political as I'm gonna get. But thank you so much to everyone um, who who's been watching or listening to the podcast. I gained a couple of subscribers on this channel, so thank you so much. It's not a lot, but I'm appreciative. Regardless of whether I have 100 subscribers, whether I have 1,000, whether I have zero. This thing is for me anyway. So I just want to thank you for watching and for being a part of the journey, man. For being a part of Mars Luna's Odyssey. I don't take any of this for granted because I know it can be taken away from me at any time. So appreciate all y'all. And if you can subscribe to the ML Backstage podcast on YouTube. Just type in ML Backstage, and obviously, you're already here, and you can also go click that subscribe button, and also check us out on Spotify and Apple Podcasts on ML Backstage. You can follow us on there too. You can follow Mars Luna on Spotify and Apple Music. Got new releases every month, well, except for November, like I said. And next year is going to be a big year for Mars Luna, so stay tuned for that. Just trying to keep this train on the track, you feel me? And you can always subscribe to itsmarsluna.com. I share newsletters at the end of each month that kind of recap everything that's been going on. So yeah, like that's pretty much it. Other than that, thank you for watching, thank you for listening, thank you for being a part of this odyssey and journey with me, with Mars Luna, with Holo, with Nalu, and all the homies that I brought on to this show. And I appreciate you. Stay tuned for next month's episode, where we talk about Halley's Comet and the least of all sessions. Hopefully you'll be done by then. And as Mars Luna always likes to say, embrace your odyssey and embrace the street. Get shoots.
I lost count, but Joshua almost said my name 3 times in a row, so I may just make him disappear. I hope you all enjoyed this episode of the ML Backstage podcast. If you liked what you heard, follow us on Spotify and Anchor, and subscribe to us on Apple and YouTube at ML Backstage. You can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, well, it's actually X now, and Facebook at It's Mars Luna. You can find all my music on Spotify and Apple Music and on my website at itsmarsluna.com. Thank you for streaming Beetlejuice. Pre-save Halley's Comet and cop a vinyl for yourself. You may just get a personalized note from me. See you back here next month for a new episode. Bye!